Marfa remains unusually calm. Number 8, Sonny's Halo, is ready. Let's take a back seat on this day.
Sonny's Halo and total departure between horses. Moving up from the extreme outside, it's freezing rain. Turn its total departure in front, has by ahead. Sonny's Halo second, half Desert Wine third, a length. Freezing rain runs for Belmont 6 to a gold 7. It's a length further back up on the outside. Maxim Bello is next. On the extreme outside, it's Paris Prince. Length and a half back to Slays Bello, followed by Slew stretch and total departure leads to the length. Sonny's Halo is second, head Desert Wine third, 2.5 lengths. From the outside, now high by ahead for Parfait Monster, ahead to a gold 7. Then down along the inside, it's Maxim Bello. He's beginning to bunch into the turn, and Sonny's Halo moves by and gets her very well bunched into the turn. Desert Wine on the exit, moving for the stretch. Sonny's Halo on the inside, has his head in front. The extreme outside, down the stretch, it's Sonny's Halo on the inside. Desert Wine is a smooth golden place. It's Sonny's Halo, he's going to win it.
And winding path to the winner's circle, and overcome by emotion and national pride, the family break.
They're all in line. And they're off. Along the outside is Canadian Factor with Barberstown High Honors very close at this stage. On the far, far outside, Deputed Testimony and Au Point. Au Point now gains the lead with Deputed Testimony in second. And Dixieland Band is third. Along the inside is High Honors, and Slew Gold is right there in fourth. On the outside is Barberstown. Then Canadian Factor, Caveat, and Current Hope. Then it's Law Talk, followed by White Birch, Mega Turn, Balboa Native, and El Cubanazo is in 15th. They round the clubhouse turn, and leading the way is Au Point by about 3.5 lengths. Slew Gold has now moved into second by about a neck. The winner of the Preakness Stakes on the outside, Deputed Testimony, is third by a half, and High Honors is very close in fourth by 3. Then it's Dixieland Band, followed by Barberstown. Then Princillian. Along the inside is Current Hope, and on the rail is Law Talk. Then it's Canadian Factor, about a length back to Megaturn, Caveat. Caveat is a horse that really comes from way back, and behind Caveat is White Birch. Then about 2 to Balboa Native, and El Cubanazo. The half has been run in 47 and 2. It is not really a fast pace. Leading the way down the backstretch continues with Au Point, still in front by a length. Slew Gold is in second by a length and a half, and High Honors is third by almost 2 lengths. Then Deputed Testimony is in fourth by 3, followed by Barberstown, Dixieland Band, and Law Talk. Then it's Princillian, Caveat, Mega Turn, then Current Hope, White Birch. On the outside, Canadian Factor, then Balboa Native, and El Cubanazo remains in 15th. 3/4, 11 and 3. The mile and 36 and 2. The pace has begun to quicken as they round the far turn. And Au Point continues to lead the way. A lightly raced horse still has the lead by a half. And Slew Gold on the outside is now gaining. It's Cordero moving Slew Gold on Au Point. Right behind those two, High Honors. On the inside is Caveat. Caveat is not able to make up a ground on the inside. As Au Point moves out, Caveat gains on the rail alongside Slew Gold. Those are the two favorites. Gaining ground on the outside, Barberstown and High Honors. Now Caveat gains the lead. Slew Gold back into second. Then it's High Honors. Barberstown heads apart for third as Caveat has the lead by 3. Slew Gold second. It's Caveat in front.
J Sing Sing both go off at 15 to 1. 2B Donabo and letter I Island World both go off at 8 to 1. 3C Mugati and letter F Slew Gold both go off at 4 to 1. 4D Swing Till Dawn 23 to 1. 5E Bates Motel 3 to 5 the favorite. 6G Silver Supreme 35 to 1. 7H Deputy Minister 9 to 2. A field of 10 outstanding thoroughbreds. A mile and a furlong. The track is fast. Here we go. They're off. Island Whirl on the outside has the early lead. Then it's Mugati moving up very quickly. Mugati takes over now by a neck. Island Whirl in second by a length. Swing Till Dawn is third. Then Bates Motel is in fourth. Slew Gold is fifth. Then Donabo and Sing 2, followed by Deputy Minister on the extreme outside. 2 to Sing Sing. And Silver Supreme is 10th. The quarter in 23 flat. Mugati has the lead by almost a length, and Island Whirl is second by a length. Then Swing Till Dawn and Sing 2 are heads apart. On the outside, moving up is Slew Gold, then it's Bates Motel and Donabo. Again on the outside, Deputy Minister, then 2 to Sing Sing, and 4 back is Silver Supreme, still in 10th. The half in 45 and 4 as they approach the far turn. Island Whirl on the outside has a head in front. And Mugati on the rail is now second by a length. Then Swing Till Dawn, Slew Gold heads apart third and fourth. Donabo in fifth, and Deputy Minister is sixth. Bates Motel is still far back in seventh. Then it's Sing Sing and Sing 2, 6 to Silver Supreme. They round the far turn. 3/4, 9 and 2. The pace has quickened. Island Whirl has the lead on the rail by a neck on the outside. Here comes Bates Motel. Bates Motel alongside Island Whirl. Between those two, Slew Gold. They're at the top of the stretch. Bates Motel on the outside leads the way by a neck. Slew Gold is second by 2. Island Whirl back into third. On the outside, Sing Sing. Slew Gold won't give up. They're at the 8th pole. On the inside, Slew Gold. On the outside, Bates Motel. They're heads apart at the 16th pole. Bates Motel has a nose in front. Slew Gold on the inside coming on again. Those two to the wire. Slew Gold in front. At the wire, it's far too close to call between Slew Gold and Bates Motel for win, with Sing Sing finishing third. The 8th race, Woodward Stakes. Time on the board, very fast, 1 minute 46 and 3/5 seconds.
Good horse, and everything was beautiful.
Well, look, this was a tremendous drive, and you told me that honestly you thought you had him beat from the 8th pole.
Oh, when he moved at me on the quarter pole, I thought he got me, because I watch his races and he always blew by horses and draw away. When he stayed with me for the 8 to the mile, I thought I got it. You know, I have very confidence. After the 8 pole, my confidence kept building up because my horse kept digging in, and his horse, he kept digging in there, but he wasn't getting anywhere. So I know I have a lot of horse. My horse been running mile and a quarter, mile and a half, so I was very confident after the 8 pole.
Well, you did a great job. Congratulations, Angel Cordero. Brilliant ride on Slew Gold. We'll be back with more action from here at Belmont. Right.
A mile and a quarter event offered a gross purse of $400,000. The field of 9 included Bates Motel, the odds-on favorite, Gato del Sol, the second choice in the wagering, and Slew Gold.
They're off. On the inside, Bold Style. On the outside, Slew Gold. Farther out, Deputed Testimony. Farther out again is Hyperborean. Bold Style, Hyperborean. Now the speed horse. Hyperborean gains the lead by more than a length. Bold Style on the rail, second by a half. Slew Gold is in third by only a head. Deputed Testimony moves up right alongside Slew Gold. And now those two are overtaking Bold Style and moving up on Hyperborean. They're going to all challenge for the early lead as they reach the back stretch. Hyperborean has it by a half. Slew Gold is second by a length and a half. Bold Style on the rail is third as Deputed Testimony has now dropped back into fourth, and it's Mayday 80. Bates Motel is far back. Alongside Bates Motel is Sing Sing, then it's Highland Blade, and Gato del Sol is in ninth. The quarter in 24 and 1, the half in 47 and 2. It is an honest pace. Now it's Slew Gold taking the lead. Cordero has it by about a length. Hyperborean on the rail, second by 3, then Bold Style and Deputed Testimony. 2 back to Mayday 80, Bates Motel and Sing Sing. Then about 3 to Highland Blade and Gato del Sol. They're on to the far turn. 3/4, 11 and 1. Slew Gold on the outside leads by a length and a half. Hyperborean on the rail, second by about a length and a half. Then it's Bold Style. On the outside, Bates Motel is now beginning to move. They approach the top of the stretch. Slew Gold leads by 3. Now McCarran has moved Bates Motel into second. Deputed Testimony is right alongside in third, then Bold Style. Highland Blade is right there. They're at the top of the stretch. Slew of Gold far from the rail leads by a length. And right behind him is Bates Motel. Bates Motel now gaining a little bit on Slew of Gold on the inside. Here comes Highland Blade. Highland Blade is challenging Slew of Gold and Bates Motel. Bates Motel on the outside. Slew of Gold between. Highland Blade on the rail. Highland Blade on the rail has the lead.
It's a great battle between Slew of Gold and Bates Motel, but Highland Blade comes along inside to nab them both for the biggest win of his career.
Our field starting with Slew of Gold, first or second, Frank Wright, 8 out of 11 races this year.
He gets bigger and better looking all the time. He's still maturing. He's been consistent all year with the exception of the Haskell, fourth in the Derby with an excuse, and he's at the best of his game right now.
Sir Mulla is the rabbit. He'll be dead last. That's a big, big favorite for that one.
Well, Angel Cordero rides Slew of Gold, Alfredo Smith Jr., Sir Mala. And, of course, number 2 in this field is Sing Sing. Jimmy Miranda aboard, 126 pounds. He's earned $500,000 the hard way, hitting it here and hitting it there. But Jerkins, a brilliant Hall of Fame trainer. Of course, you know what he's called, the Giant Killer, and he's got some giants to work on in here, but don't count him short.
Greek number 3 is Bounding Bass. Greg McCarran will be aboard.
Listen, I'll tell you one thing about Bounding Bass. He won the Wood and then he got hurt. 5 days ago, he won at Jamaica. He's a 3-year-old who is really improving. He's got a shot.
You talk about horses coming back after short rest, though. Look what Conquistador Cielo did.
That's right.
Number 4, Silver Supreme, the 5-year-old, a veteran campaigner. Second in this race last year, Frank Wright.
126 is an older horse, George Velasquez aboard. He ran very well here. His one brilliant race a few weeks ago, he was second, but he picks up 9 pounds off that effort. The Silver Supreme horse is a stretch runner.
Greek number 5, Highland Blade, beat Slew of Gold by a neck 3 weeks ago, but picks up 9 pounds off that.
That's true, and he's got very thin legs, and he can't go too far, but he's done 1.5 miles a couple times and won. He's won on dirt, he's won on grass. He is a good horse and definitely a contender. Jacinto Vasquez rides.
Frank, Eddie Maple, who just captured the Champagne Stakes with Devil's Bag, will be aboard number 6, reinvested 0 for 6 this year.
0 for 6, but new leadership. Frank Morton trained him in those last 2 efforts. Eddie Maple rode him. He seemed to run very well. He belied a 0 for 6 form. He has an outside chance.
A horse that has an inside chance, John Henry, the sentimental favorite, Chris McCarran to be aboard. He's been racing almost as long as the Greek's been going to racetracks.
We're both the same age, 64 years old. What can you say about John Henry that hasn't been said? He's won over $3 million, and I'll tell you this, he's one of the favorites.
Lafitte Pinkai aboard number 8, Aaron's Isle, Frank.
Aaron's Isle has had 29 starts, only 3 of them on the dirt for this Irish bred. Pinkai will have to use all his skill to make him do it.
And likes the longer distance. Number 9, Desert Wine, second in the Derby and the Preakness.
And that's just about what he'll do. Nothing more today.
Finally, number 10, Playfellow. We all saw him win the Travers up at Saratoga, and he is the favorite.
He is the favorite. Patrick Day, the country's leading rider aboard. Maybe they're giving credit to the fact that he's won 4 Grade 1 stakes this year, and he's training fine.
So there you take a look at our field. We've got 5 3-year-olds and older horses. And
Okay, now we're in line. We're all set for the Gold Cup. Standing still. Desert Wine on the outside, going for the lead with Bounding Busk. Along the inside, Slew of Gold and Sir Mala. The rabbit, Sir Mala has gained the lead on the inside of Desert Wine on the outside in second. Then Bounding Busk is third, Playfellow is in fourth, and Slew of Gold is in fifth. Sing Sing on the rail is in sixth. They head into the clubhouse turn. Sir Mala has the lead by a half. Desert Wine on the outside in second by a length and a half. Bounding Busk is third by a length. Playfellow on the outside in fourth. Slew of Gold on the rail is fifth by a length. John Henry on the outside is in sixth. Then it's reinvested and Sing Sing about 10 back to Highland Blade. Highland Blade is extremely far back, about 3 to Aaron's Isle, and Silver Supreme is 11th. The first quarter 23 and 3, the half in 48 left. We're on to the back stretch. Sir Mala nearest the rail has a head in front. Desert Wine is right alongside, second by a length. Slew of Gold. Playfellow heads apart. Playfellow is now moving on the outside into third alongside Desert Wine and Sir Mala Mala. Playfellow now takes the lead from Desert Wine. Sir Mala Mala is dropping back as Slew of Gold gains on the rail. Bounding Bosque is still right there. They continue down the backstretch, and they are very bunching on the front end. 3/4, 12 and 3. Bounding Bosque has the lead now by a head. Slew of Gold in second. Playfellow is back into third. Sing Sing is in fourth. John Henry is in fifth. And Desert Wine has dropped way back now out of contention. Then it's reinvested at Highland Blade. Highland Blade is in gear and is moving up gradually on the outside. They round the far turn, the mile, 36 and 3. The pace is fast. Bounding Bosque leads the way by a length. Slew of Gold second by 2.5. Playfellow is third by a length. Now John Henry has moved up on the inside, is nearest the rail, is in striking position there at the top of the stretch. There goes Slew of Gold on the inside. Slew of Gold has the length lead. Bounding Bosque second, and on the outside is Playfellow in third. Highland Blade making up lots of ground with John Henry, but John Henry is still far back. Slew of Gold has the lead by 2. Bounding Bosque second by a length. Highland Blade on the outside moving into third. Highland Blade will overtake Bounding Bosque as Slew of Gold leads the wire. It's Angel Cordero Jr. on Slew of Gold, the winner by about 3. A photo for place and show between Highland Blade and Bounding Bosque in this, the 8th race, Jockey Club Gold Cup. Slew of Gold has taken 2 of the fall championship races. The time on the board, 2 minutes, 26 and 1/5 seconds. A stakes record for the Gold Cup. Back to you, Jim.
The field of only 3 stress quality rather than quantity. Slew of Gold, making his first stakes start of the year, was 2-5 favorite as the 126-pound top weight. Track Baron, winner of the Dwyer, was the second choice at 3-2, with Thumbsucker sent off at 5-1.
0. Track Baron between horses, going for the lead, has it by a neck. Slew of Gold on the rail is right there in second, and Thumbsucker on the outside is third as they enter the clubhouse turn. Slew of Gold on the rail now puts a neck in front. Track Baron is back into second by about a length, and Thumbsucker is in third. Now Slew of Gold gets clear by a length and a half, goes clear by 2 lengths. Slew of Gold leads as they round the clubhouse turn. And they approach the backstretch the first quarter, 23 and 4. It is a fast pace. Slew of Gold has the lead by a length and a half. Track Baron on the rail, second by a neck. Thumbsucker on the outside is third, and now Thumbsucker moves right alongside Track Baron. Track Baron comes on again on the rail, and now draws alongside Slew of Gold. Track Baron on the rail, puts ahead in front. Slew of Gold on the outside, second by 2.5. Thumbsucker is third. The leaders, heads apart, now leave Thumbsucker behind by 3. The half in 46 and 4. It is still a very fast pace. Track Baron on the rail, Slew of Gold on the outside. They remain together, and they have open 6 now on Thumbsucker. Track Baron on the rail has a head in front. Slew of Gold on the outside, second by 7, and Thumbsucker remains in third. They approach the top of the stretch. Slew of Gold on the outside of Track Baron. They remain together. They're at the top of the stretch. Track Baron on the rail, Slew of Gold on the outside. Now Slew of Gold puts ahead in front. Track Baron on the rail is second, about 6 back to Thumbsucker. Slew of Gold on the outside leads past the 8th pole by a neck. Track Baron on the rail is second. Slew of Gold on the outside, under a hand ride, has the lead by a half. Track Baron is second. An easy victory for Slew of Gold in the Whitney Handicap.
Slew of Gold hooks up in a virtual match race with Track Baron, but the 4-year-old Seattle Slew colt merely toys with his rival before pulling away with an astonishing burst of speed and deep stretch. A half-brother to Belmont Stakes winner Coastal, Slew of Gold boosted his career earnings past the $1 million mark while providing trainer John Hertler with his first graded stakes victory.
Straight Woodward. Right now, let's go out to Charles C. Canty on the track. Charles C. Jimmy pointed out a little bit earlier, if you can win the Fall Championship Series here at Belmont, all 3 of the races, the Woodward, the Marlboro, and the Gold Cup, it is a $1 million bonus.
Bobby Duncan leading Slew of Gold around. Whether or not he's handled, our cameras will show. Some horses handled by the assistant starter when they in the gate, and Donald, some of them don't like to be handled.
That's true. Some horses, they fight you when you put anybody on their head. They just want to be in there by themselves.
You can see as they go in who they stay with and who they do not stay with.
Mile and an eighth Woodward about to start, and let's go upstairs to Marshall Cassidy. Marshall?
All right, Brent, the two horses in this race with Mudcaulks are Shifty Chic and Fit to Fight. The final horse going into the gate, Slew Gold, is now in the gate. We're ready. They're all in line. They're all. Fit to Fight on the outside goes for the lead. Farther out, Slew Gold in second. Shifty Chic is right there in third. Then Bounding Boss, Bet Big, and Canadian Factor. They leave the chute. Fit to Fight has the lead by a neck. Slew Gold on the outside in second by a length, and a Shifty Chic is third by about 2. Bounding Boss in fourth by 3. Then Bet Big and Canadian Factor. The first quarter very fast. 22 and 3. Fit to Fight continues to lead by about a neck. Slew Gold on the outside in second by a length. Shifty Chic is right there in third. They have about 5 on Bounding Boss. Bet Big and Canadian Factor remains a very distant 6th. They continue down the backstretch. Now Shifty Chic has challenged from the rail. Shifty Chic now puts ahead in front. Fit to Fight between horses second by a neck. On the outside, Slew Gold is third. Shifty Chic has attained a half-length lead. Fit to Fight is second by a neck. On the outside, Slew Gold in third by 4. Then Bounding Boss and Bet Big. The half in 45 and 1. It's still a very fast pace. Shifty Chic has the lead now by a length and a half. Now Slew Gold on the outside has overtaken Fit to Fight. Fit to Fight has dropped back into third and continues to drop back. Gaining ground on the rail, Bounding Boss. Alongside Bounding Boss, Bet Big there at the top of the stretch. Shifty Chic, former claimer, has the lead by 2. Slew Gold on the outside, second by about 2. Bet Big is in third by 2. Then Bounding Boss and Fit to Fight. Fit to Fight will not win this race. They passed the 8th pole. Now Slew Gold gains on the outside of Shifty Chic, and they are heads apart. Bet Big on the rail in third. They're at the 16th pole. Slew Gold on the outside, puts ahead in front. Shifty Chic is second. Bet Big is third. It's Slew Gold in front.
After all, how close did I come? You said he'd beat the Blue Bloods, but he tested them and scared them.
Here is that stretch run again, and at the time, it appeared when they hit the top of the stretch that Shifty Chic had enough to pull it off. But somehow, Cordero urged Slew Gold back.
Well, it was an incredible and obvious move. Donald Macbeth said very likely Barrera told him to go get it. He went to the lead, did Jean-Luc Samine. He had his horse in a hard drive, and Don, there was no doubt that Cordero wasn't overconfident. He had a horse to catch.
Absolutely. Oscar's horse, Shifty Chic, was in a beautiful position. He was the horse to catch. And I think Slew Gold ran a good race to come and get him.
It was a very game effort by Slew Gold to overtake him, and the Oscar Barrera trained horse did not surrender willingly.
As Slew Gold hits the finish line first, just beating Shifty Chic.
Frank Wright, let's take a look at Pine Circle, second in the Arkansas Derby, second at Belmont, second in the Travers.
Well, they play the music. He leads the post parade. He carries 114 pounds. Patrick Day is aboard. As you look at him, he's only won 2 races, but nearly $400,000. He runs in the stretch. He has run-down bandages on, as many horses do, running on the sandy New York tracks.
Number 2 is Canadian Factor, 5th in the Woodward, and he's a late runner.
He's a Canadian bred, as his name would indicate, carries 114 pounds. Rider Walter Guerra, he is a late runner, and he drops 9 pounds from his Woodward effort.
Number 3 is Morning Bob, a 3-year-old, won the Pennsylvania Derby, then a good effort, third in the Pegasus behind Hail Bold King and Cardinastra.
He carries 115. Jean-Luc Samine is his rider. He did well, as you enumerated. He did well against 3-year-olds. When he runs against older horses, he doesn't have as much luck. Maybe he'll do better today.
Number 4 is a 4-year-old, Bounding Basque, with Chris McCarron up 4th in the Woodward.
A decent 3-year-old record. He's only had 2 moderate efforts this year. One of the top riders in the world, Chris McCarron, aboard. His connections say he'll improve.
And number 5, Hail Bold King, made that bold move in the Pegasus, has won 4 out of 5 this year. 5th in the Travers, his only off effort.
He carries 117 pounds. Jorge Velasquez is aboard. His off effort in the Travers was, with some excuses, a fever he had early in the meeting, a traffic problem. So he is a tough horse. 4 wins, 5 efforts.
Slew Gold, the 3-5 early morning favorite, now at 7-5, will tote high tonnage, 129 pounds.
Well, he's 3 for 3 this year. 2 stakes, the Whitney and the Woodward. He will be tested, and Jimmy pointed out, good horses sometimes do what they have to do, even if it's virtually impossible. He has a tough task ahead of him today. Angel Cordero, as usual, aboard.
Number 7 is Big Bet, a 4-year-old, third in the Woodward and a sloppy track.
He was indeed third in the Woodward and won his first outing, a stake to Carter. He carries 115 pounds today. Robbie Davis is his rider.
Number 8, Is Your Pleasure, has been scratched. So number 9 is Car de Nascra, the winner of the Travers, the winner of the Jim Dandy, a double there. 5 wins in 9 outings.
Lafitte Pinkai is his rider, 119 on this 3-year-old. A neat-looking little thoroughbred. He seems consistent. He seems to improve. No excuse for his second at Pegasus, but he does not like mud. No mud today, Jim.
And Frank, how about number 10, Shifty Chic, claimed by the magician Oscar Barrera for $35,000 in a space of 25 days. He turns into a stakes contender.
I have never seen a horse improve that much in that amount of time in my long lifetime, Jim. He might continue to improve. He might be tough today. He can run.
Well, we will find out in just a little while. In the meantime, we've got 4 winners here this afternoon that have been sired by past winners of the Marlboro Cup. That should fare very well for Slew of Gold. His daddy, of course, the great Seattle Slew.
Here at Saratoga. On the outside will be Shifty Chic, the horse that finished second in the Woodward Stakes. Okay, Shifty Chic is in. They're all set.
They're all in line. And they're off. On the outside, Car de Nascra with Bet Big. Those 2 vying for the early lead. Slew of Gold is in third, then Shifty Chic. Those 2 heads apart. They've opened up 3 on Hail Bold King, then 2 to Bounding Boss, Canadian Factor, 2 again to Pine Circle, and Morning Bob is in ninth. They now reach the backstretch. Bet Big on the rail has achieved a half-length lead. Car de Nascra on the outside, second by 2.5. Shifty Chic is in third by a length. Slew of Gold is in fourth by 5. Then Hail Bold King, Bounding Boss, Canadian Factor, 3 back to Pine Circle, and Morning Bob remains in ninth. The first quarter, 24-2. It is a fast pace as they race down the backstretch now. Pinkai puts Car de Nascra in front again by a neck. Bet Big on the rail, second by a neck. Now Slew of Gold on the outside challenges those 2. Those 3 now across the track. They have a length on Shifty Chic. Slew of Gold on the outside of Car de Nascra now puts ahead in front. Car de Nascra is second by about a half. Then Bet Big and Shifty Chic heads apart. They have 3 on Hail Bold King and Bounding Boss. Then 3 to Canadian Factor. About 5 back to Morning Bob. And Pine Circle is now ninth. The half in 47-4. 3 quarters, 11-3. They round the far turn. Okay, there goes Slew of Gold. Has the lead by more than a length on the outside. Here comes Shifty Chic. Looks like those 2 will hook up again. Car de Nascra on the rail, third by 2. Hail Bold King, fourth. Now in gear on the outside is Bounding Boss with Canadian Factor. They approach the top of the stretch. Slew of Gold has the lead by a length and a half. Car de Nascra in second by a half. Shifty Chic on the outside, back into third. Hail Bold King gains on the far outside. A mile in 36-4. The pace is still fast. Slew of Gold has the lead by about 2. Car de Nascra second by 2. On the outside, Hail Bold King in third. They pass the 8th pole. Slew of Gold still leads by a length and a half. Car de Nascra second by 2.5. Then Canadian Factor is in third. Hail Bold King is in fourth. As they come to the wire, it's Woodward winner, Slew of Gold in front. On Hill Court and Canadian Factor. A bit of an upset here, finished third in the Marlboro Cup.
As you look, Marshall, at the Happy Slew crew, Jim and Sally Hill, Karen and Mickey Taylor, and there's the unofficial winner, number 6, Angel Cordero aboard, Slew of Gold. So Slew of Gold now, Frank, has captured 2 legs of the Fall Championship Series, and just 1, the Jockey Club, stands in his way of $1 million bonus.
But more important than that, he has caught the respect of every knowledgeable horse person in the world, including Jimmy the Greek. This is a champion horse. He's overcome the weight. He's overcome a cuppy racetrack. He has 2 alien shoes that are not normal to him, and he just beat these horses, giving 10 to 15 pounds. You can't ask much more than that.
129 pounds aboard Slew of Gold, including Angel Cordero, still on the whip, looking over that right shoulder as the Travers winner, Car de Nascra, comes in. Jimmy, when Marshall was calling the final stride, you said he's a great one.
He is a great one. There is no question about it. He'll be 1 to 2 to win the whole $1 million now.
It is, of course, Angel Cordero's second win at the Marlboro Cup. He won again with a pretty good horse named Seattle Slew, Frank.
Yes. Now let's take a look at this fine field. Number 1, letter C, and number 1C and letter C, Muggety, was scratched out of the entry. 1A, letter H, Big Jim Taylor, was scratched, leaving a 1X, letter I, Slew of Gold, but that's leaving a lot. 4 for 4 this year. Not 100% recently, not 100% today. He still wears the modified bar shoes, and in addition, he has a fiberglass patch on his front right hoof, courtesies Dr. Butler and Dr. Fritz, but he was perfectly sound, and look at him now, a handsome, marvelous, typical thoroughbred. That's the best you have to offer, and the crowd acts in appreciation with their applause. Number 2, letter A, In the Rough was scratched. Number 3, letter B, Papal Bull was a late scratch. Number 4, letter D, Bounding Basque, 126, as the older horses carry the rider, Greg McCarron.
He's winless this year. In fact, he hasn't even hit the board in 4 starts. But he was third to Slew Gold in last year's Jockey Club, and he could be regaining that form.
Number 5, letter E, Canadian Factor, 126, Walter Garrow aboard.
He has chased Slew Gold through the Woodward and through the Marlboro to no avail, but he'll close strongly for his share, and he'll be tough if Slew Gold falters.
Number 6, letter F, Hail Bowl King, 3-year-old, therefore 121, Eddie Maple in the irons.
He was one of the better 3-year-olds this year, but he too had no luck chasing Slew Gold. However, he's got a strong late run, and he can come along if Slew Gold fails.
Number 7, letter G, Broadway Harry, 126, Antonio Grael. He's trained by Alan Jerkins, the giant giller. He's an outsider, but dangerous. He's been 1.25 miles successfully at Keystone. He can run all day.
Half the track is fast, and here we go in the Gold Cup. There, Slew Gold on the extreme outside, breaks alertly, in good position as Bounding Basque on the rail now takes the lead. Hail Bowl King is in second, then Slew Gold on the extreme outside is in third, and between those two is Broadway Harry. Canadian Factor is in fifth. They enter the clubhouse turn, and Bounding Basque has the lead by a half. Slew Gold on the outside, second by a length and a half. Hail Bowl King on the rail is third, then Broadway Harry. And the Canadian Factor. Bounding Basque coasts along easily by 2 lengths. Slew Gold is second by 2, and Hail Bowl King is third on the rail by a length. Broadway Harry on the outside in fourth by a length and a half, and the Canadian Factor remains in fifth. The first quarter, an easy 25 flat. The half, 49 3. It is not a fast pace. Bounding Basque continues to lead by about a length and a half. Slew Gold is second by 2.5. Hail Bowl King is third by 3. Then Broadway Harry and the Canadian Factor. 3 quarters in 14 1. An extraordinarily slow pace. McCarron continues to show the way on Bounding Basque by a length and a quarter. Slew Gold now is starting to move on the outside with Cordero. Slew Gold a very close second, and those two have 3 on Hail Bowl King. They enter the far turn. Slew Gold draws right alongside. Bounding Basque puts ahead in front. Bounding Basque on the rail, second by 2. Hail Bowl King third, gaining ground about 6 back to Canadian Factor, and Broadway Harry is now fifth. The mile still slow, 38 4. Slew Gold on the outside has the lead by about a length. Hail Bowl King has now moved into second. Bounding Basque has dropped back into third. Those have 5 on Canadian Factor. It's Slew Gold with Cordero. Far from the rail, lead by 3. Hail Bowl King second by 3. Bounding Basque is third by 4. Then Canadian Factor and Broadway Harry. $1 million bonus on the line as they pass the 8th pole. It's Slew Gold drawing clear now by 8 lengths. Then Hail Bowl King and Bounding Basque. Slew Gold in front. Angel Cordero Jr. on Slew Gold wins easily by about 8. Hail Bowl King was second. Bounding Basque third. Then Canadian Factor and Broadway Harry. Time on the board, 2 minutes, 28 and 4/5 seconds. And it's official, the winner, letter I, Slew Gold, paying $220, $210, and $210. Hail Bowl King, 6F was second, $220, $210, and the Bounding Basque, 4C. 4D was third, paying $2.10. Now to Frank Wright.
In a hoof and might not have been 100%. A pace setter for him, Mugga T, was also in the field. Second choice was the Preakness winner, Gate Dancer, easy to spot with his trademark earmuffs. And don't forget the long shot Wild again in the $3 Million Classic.
They're in the gate, and they're off in the Breeders' Cup Classic in Mugga T. He's put right to the whip from the gate. Up to take the lead. He's bearing out now as they pass the stands the first time. Here's Precisionist to join them, and in between horses, it's Wild again. 2 lengths back to Desert Wine. He's settled into 4th. And the big horse, Slew of Gold, is off the rail, and he's racing 5th by 4 lengths. Track Baron is now racing in 6th. Canadian Factor toward the inside. Gate Dancer is the trailer. He's about 12 lengths off the lead. We've got a 3-ply battle for the lead around the turn. And Wild again emerges with the lead. Precisionist down the outside. Muggety toward the rail. The first quarter, a snappy 22 3/5 seconds. They enter the backstretch. Wild again battles it out and takes the lead now by 3/4 of a length to half, and 45 3. Precisionist pressures the pacemaker from the outside. Toward the inside, it's Muggety now. He's dropped back 3rd, a gap of 4 lengths to Desert Wine racing in 4th. Slew of Gold is still 5th. He's settled into 5th place now, and he's beginning to move up on the outside, a gap of 4 to Track Baron. Gate Dancer is second to last with a half a mile to run, and Canadian Factor is far behind as the field heads for the far turn. 3/4 in 1:10 3, and Slew of Gold now. He's charging on the outside up to engage the leader. Wild again. It's Wild again with the lead. Slew of Gold. Cordero aboard. Attacks now with 3 furlongs to go. Those two are matching stride for stride. Here comes Track Baron. He's putting in his run. And Gate Dancer, he's in full stride now. And he swings wide for the final quarter mile. On the inside, Wild again is game, and he's holding on to the lead by a head. Slew of Gold is right at his neck. Here comes Gate Dancer on the outside there in the final furlong. Wild again, desperately holding on to the lead. Slew of Gold is right there in between horses. Gate Dancer on the outside. What a finish. Wild again. Gate Dancer, Slew of Gold in between them. Those 3 in a dramatic finish. And here's the wire. Wild again does it. I believe it was Wild again, an upset winner. Gate Dancer was right there. Really was a bit too close to call. But the big horse, Slew of Gold, was defeated today. He was 3rd.
There was clearly some contact between the 3 horses in the stretch. Wild again on the rail, Slew of Gold between horses, Gate Dancer on the outside, and Slew of Gold took the worst of it. The stewards deliberated for more than 10 minutes before reaching their decision. The question was whether the first place finisher, Wild again on the rail, or the horse who finished second, Gate Dancer on the outside, would be held to blame for bumping Slew of Gold. Finally, it was decided that Gate Dancer was primarily to blame for the bumping. He was disqualified from 2nd to 3rd, and the gamble of Wild Again's owners had paid off. The masterful ride of Pat Day on the lead would live on in racing history, and the Breeders' Cup had been established as racing's championship day.